So the world is quiet, and I figured sometimes some of the best conversations I have with you is about this time. And I was doing my journals, it's over here, and I figured this is one of those journal entries I want to share with you. And I am doing a letter to my 16-year-old self. Oh, are you well? You're keeping your mask on, hands are still clean, you're making sure that you do all the right things, eat the right stuff, stay healthy, social distance. Okay, great. Don't get pandemic fatigue. Huh? The reason we've come this far is that we've done those things, so we've got to continue to do them. So I'm sure you've heard me joke once in a while that my daughter is 9 going on 16. She's going to be 10 in December. I know. And you know, a lot of things have gotten me here. There was we're going shopping for, not even a training bra, no, a boob top. It's, you know, and this started last year. It's the roll on and me making sure that she puts it on properly. And she's like, why can't I use the one you use? And I'm like, because of your age and your sensitivity, you cannot use what I use. There's a different product created for you. And what I love, and I must say this, is that she's so eager to learn, to grow, to be, that having the conversation is not awkward or tough, you know? It's a blessing. However, you know, I keep thinking, you know, there is a time that will come when she will literally begin to disconnect and want to find her own space. And I remember me at 16 and my issues. And as I was writing that letter to my 16-year-old self, you know, it was a feeling not cool enough, not part of the in crowd. My mom wouldn't let me do certain things. I didn't feel that even if I was let into that crowd, I would fit in. I felt awkward. And a lot of things made me awkward. I actually did write this. You've been a late bloomer all your life. I have been, honestly, without doubt, at least 4 years to 5 years behind the crowd, you know, in everything. I mean, first boyfriend, college, you know, first drink, 23 years old, the whole works, you know, moved out of home a lot later than most people. Got a car a little later than most people. I mean, so I'm a late bloomer. I really, really am in very many ways. And what I have learned over time is not to chase. I've got to believe that the path that I'm on is mine and mine alone, and it's not going to look like somebody else's. And it's taken me a moment. And I remember being 16 is not easy. I mean, anybody who knew me, High South B, Golden Gate, Our Lady, Queen of Peace Church. I mean, I was a skele. I was that chick. I didn't have the boobs. I didn't have the curves. And if you went to Loreto Common Valley Road when I did, our school uniforms, I mean, you could buy from School Outfitters or you could have yours fitted at J.R. Stevens. And my parents were, you know, those people who did the one from J.R. Stevens. And the one from J.R. Stevens was made to measure because obviously we were supposed to look like young ladies. The thing is, if you don't have the bust and you don't have the curvature, I mean, which I do not have, I mean, it kind of looked like straight. And you know, those things made me uncomfortable. You know, I was the person who never changed in the changing room like everybody else because I didn't have the cute bra. And anyway, even if I did, there wasn't much in it. So I wrote a letter to myself about that and looked forward and just little things make me really happy, make me smile, make me laugh. Just understanding, I think, number one, that my path is mine. It's not going to look like anybody else's. And for me, I think more than most of my peers and my cohort that's really true. Okay, that there's nothing wrong with being this weird outlier that I am, because it's what has created this truly, I have to say, amazing life that I have. In my letter, I think I've also talked about forgiving myself for the times I betrayed myself because I would not listen to my truth, and went off and did the things that I thought would make me fit and be acceptable because everybody else was doing them, and then feeling icky afterwards. So, I had to ask that 16-year-old for forgiveness. But also understanding that over time I learned more and more and more to let that 16-year-old, whatever her path was, whatever her truth was, whatever her rhythm was, to come through. And it still does today. I mean, of course, what I've been able to do over time is horn that into, literally, if somebody asked me, don't you sweat? And I no, I don't. I have always danced the beat of my own drum. And, over time, it's gotten a rhythm. And, in the last couple of months, even that beat has changed a little, for the better. But there was an erratic beat, 16, 17, 18, and then it got another tempo, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, there's excitement, there's self-doubt, there is, my heart is broken, there is, so, but I know that by the time I was like 27, I had and that's what I stayed with. But I have to tell that 16-year-old, you should have spent more time listening to that beat, because once you stop trying to fit in, stopped trying to be like everybody else, stopped trying to literally, like me, I couldn't care less, in a good way. But also remember, at the age I am, remember Jimmy Galu and I had a conversation about the fact that we get to a certain point in life and we can't give, we just cannot. So yeah, it's an exercise. I haven't finished. When I finish my letter, I think I'll share it. I'll think about it. But I'd love to just know in the comments one thing you'd tell your 16-year-old self. I think I think I've written the final line of my letter, and it says, "You'll be just fine. You'll be just fine." And to be honest, tonight, as I sit here in my pink kimono, ready to, have my last 2 glasses of water and clean my face and take this thing off and go to bed, I must say to that 16-year-old girl, we did good. We did good. Take care. Bye.